Let's start by taking a look at Warfare mode, which is the more popular of the two. Warfare is a tug-of-war style game in which two teams fight for control of the 5 sectors that make up the map. Each sector is made up of 2 rows, or 2 columns, depending on the map's orientation. The goal is to either capture all 5 sectors, or to control the majority of the sectors when the 90-minute time limit expires. In order to capture a sector, your team must gain control of what is called the strong point, which is the striped black circle you see within the sector. As long as you're within the 4 squares surrounding that black circle, you will contribute to capturing that strong point. If you're inside the black circle itself, you will contribute 3 times the capture strength. So for example, if there are 3 Americans inside the black circle and 5 Germans outside the black circle, but within the 4 grid squares surrounding the black circle, the Americans will begin to capture the sector, as they have a cap weight of 9, while the Germans have a cap weight of 5. Defending a strong point works in the exact same way. Each team starts with control of 2 of the 5 sectors, with the middle sector starting off as a neutral territory. This is the sector the 2 teams will fight over at the start of the game. Once a team captures the neutral sector, they then gain control of it. From this point on, there's no more neutral territory, and each team will have to balance between defending their own sectors and capturing the enemy sectors. And unfortunately, this is where so many teams fail. They neglect to assign a couple of squads to defense and all go on the attack, leaving their sector wide open to be captured by the enemy with little to no resistance. So before you head off to capture the next point, take a look at the map and see if anybody is sticking around to play defense. If they're not, you should either stay back and defend with your squad, or ask other squads if they're willing to defend. Now, you can only capture the enemy-controlled sector that is directly adjacent to your own friendly sector. The other enemy sectors will be locked until you capture the sector adjacent to them, at which point they will become the new active sector. It's very important that you understand that the capture rate in Hell Let Loose is always constant. It takes 2 minutes to capture a sector, and having more bodies on the strong point does not make you capture it faster. If the enemy team starts to capture your sector 10 seconds before you start to capture theirs, they will capture your point first unless they're taken out. If the enemy captures your sector, the sector you're trying to capture will become locked, since you can only capture the enemy-controlled sector that is directly adjacent to your own friendly sector, which you just lost. This is referred to as the cap race and is something you'll always want to pay attention to. You can keep an eye on this by referencing your HUD, which shows a capture progress bar for both the active friendly sector and the active enemy sector. If the red enemy sector bar on the right side begins to fill with blue, that means you're capturing the enemy sector. If the blue friendly sector on the left begins to fill with red, that means you're losing your friendly sector. And if the bars start filling with a lighter red or a lighter blue, that means that you and the enemy have an equal capture weight, and this stalemate is called contesting,